OxFit Podcast, Episode 2. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, episode number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have clapped again.
It's fine.
Yeah,
First
Lucas
bite.
will figure it out.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was long. I feel like I was doing fitness stuff all weekend.
Yeah.
So, which is what I enjoy, so I'm really not worried about it. And got to hang out with so many different people this weekend. That's why it's fun to do different events. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't always have to be the most difficult thing you've ever done. It was nice to be like, now we're going to hike to the brewery on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was a nice way to spend a Sunday.
Doesn't have to be complicated. And it's what I needed to, because if I didn't go do that, I would have just been sitting on my ass all day, complaining about how sore I was. Which I'm a little sore still, not too bad.
I think it definitely helped, right? Like, it definitely helped from what we were doing at training camp on Saturday to then just go for a nice walk. And we were moving pretty quick and it was hot, so we were sweating. I think I feel better today because of that, rather than if I was just sitting around and playing with Leo and, you know what I mean, just messing around. So
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, what do you want to talk about today?
I mean, we could start with training camp. I feel like that was a big success. We had people from not OxFit join us. They had a great time. All of our people had a great time. 5 workouts back to back to get us ready for Atlantic Coast Classic. 2 of them were going to be at the actual competition, and then the rest were just my creation. Which I had a lot of fun. I was pleasantly surprised with how our team did. I think you guys did really well.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought we were finished after the snatch D-ball step over one, and then I sold out. I didn't have anything left. How many did we do? 5? 5 workouts in what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, it was fun, and like you said, it's nice that we have a training camp with all our team, but it is nice to have other people coming in and just like mixing it up. So like, it would be nice for like the rest of summer to figure out a way to open it up to other people that want to come and have fun and work out and, like be in our environment, like one of the guys that was training with us, I was talking to him and I said, I don't know how you can train on your own for this because it just sucks. I guess if you're coaching all day and you're around people, it might be nice to do something on your own, but I was on vacation for a week and by Friday I didn't want to do any more workouts, whereas when we're training together, I look forward to every single day. Over the past few weeks training for this competition, our Thursday session has been our best day, which is when we've mostly been the most exhausted.
Yeah.
But you got a team of people that you get to train with, so.
Right. Yeah, and you're in that mindset of, I can't do this today.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. And then nobody else is, at least not acting like that. They might be thinking it, and so.
And some people would love to come and train with us, but they live just too far away.
Yeah.
So on a weekend, just to be, hey, we know you're a member wherever, because you can't come down here, but come on a Saturday and Sunday and come train with us and do some competitions together and represent OxFit still, because we'll help you get to competition. We'll be able to put you on a team, Yeah. If your gym's not doing crazy cool shit all year like we are,
right,
you can still come and do it with us. You can still come and hang out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like we said, OxFit's not for everybody, but it is for anybody, right? So if you're anybody that wants to do cool stuff, then don't hesitate to come and try and join in with us on something. We'll figure out the monetary value of what it is. That's just details. But if you want to be around a fun team and enjoy it, we are always open to fun people to come and hang out.
Absolutely.
This is not like a closed thing where it's only us, We want to have an impact on Atlanta. So if you're around, you can get here. Or if you're not and you just want to come and do the triathlon, the competition, whatever we've got going on the rest of the year, then shit, don't hesitate.
Yeah, especially if your gym kind of puts you in a little bit of a box, which is fine because gyms specialize. CrossFit gyms just do CrossFit, but we don't, which I really like, because as soon as this competition is over, we're switching gears to triathlon mode, and then that's going to go right into the marathon, and then, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, whatever it is, we'll get you there.
Yeah.
No matter what you want to do.
Yep. And we'll have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what this weekend was. Like, when I worked out, really hard, and then Sunday walk to the brewery, and it's a completely different vibe where it's just cruising along, chatting away, and then have a beer or a hard seltzer or whatever it is, which I think leads into something you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, I think this weekend, I mean, at least for me, I have a tendency to work really hard in the gym, but I want to go really hard as a reward too. So like after a competition or after a hard time training, like I'm ready to drink. Like I want to go, which is not always the best thing, but I think just the past few weeks, especially getting into Ox 100 for, whatever time it is that I've done it, and just learning more about alcohol and how it affects your body. It's just really interesting to me, kind of the choices you make when you're drinking and how that affects your training.
Talk me through some of your choices.
So like this weekend, I really don't drink beer or wine. I kind of, the past 6 months, just said I'm just going to not do that. Unless it's, really special occasion. I had a beer at the brewery after we were walking, one beer. I felt like trash, like immediately after like drinking half of it. Which I know we've talked about that before, and how beer can kind of spike your estrogen, definitely spikes your blood sugar. It has a lot of carbs. And I think we have so many people that are just really avid beer and wine drinkers, and I don't think they understand how that is really affecting their body and their hormones, and how they, metabolize fat, and that's doing to their goals.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit more. What does that do? Tell me about beer.
So beer and wine, not only is it calorically higher than other liquors or straight liquors, you're looking at two drinks that have a lot of phytoestrogens, which they just mimic estrogen. They're found in a lot of grains, legumes, wheat, that kind of stuff. And they're really high in beer and wine. And it can just bump your estrogen up. It spikes your blood sugar.
In men and women.
Yeah, in men and in women. Which is not really something you want. It can kind of lead to retaining a lot of subcutaneous fat in men. Higher estrogen, not a great thing. Like I said, more subcutaneous fat, you kind of get the man boob situation going on. Yeah. Beer gut, all of those things.
Well, I mean, a man that drinks a lot of beer, I would say when you notice it with the beer gut and the boob, they look pregnant, right? So is that the estrogen, like massive amounts of estrogen just dumped into your system from drinking beer over and over?
Yeah.
Like it seems like that is the result.
Yeah, and it's the phytoestrogens also stimulate the same hormone that is responsible for lactation, or releasing those like hormonal like responses to produce milk in mammals.
Wow.
Which is naturally great for women because we have to have babies and we have to feed them, but man doesn't really have a need for spiking his estrogen. And you're going to see that in a ton of soy products. So processed meats, fake meats, any processed food, one of the first ingredients, you're going to see some type of soy.
So I got back from training on Saturday and just dehydrated to hell, thirsty as hell, and looked at the fridge and had a Modelo Light just sitting, just screaming at me like, come on, you know you want it. And I must have drank it in like 3 seconds. It was gone.
Yeah.
And honestly, like after the workouts and all that stuff, I didn't care. I was just like, that's not going to do anything. You know, if I drink the whole case, then I'll have a problem. But I was like, it's just some carbs. It's just going to go straight to my system.
I mean, on the flip side, there's the argument that that's probably exactly what you needed.
Yeah.
You know, the phytoestrogens in one Modelo.
That's Modelo Light now. Which
right.
I think it's a new one. Never had it before.
Right.
But I wish it wasn't because I need the damn carbs and there's only like 3 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're drinking a lot of that beer, I immediately switched and got them new, what are they called? They're made by some place in Texas, and they're like non-malt margaritas.
Yeah.
And they're incredible. What's the name of them, producer? Do you remember?
I know the can is blue.
Yeah.
Cayman, is it the Cayman Jack?
No, not them ones. Them ones are not as good. These
Okay.
ones are amazing. I'll have to. I'll bring one in next episode because they're my favorite things. And now they come in different flavors as well. You got like an orange and mango and a
Strawberry.
There's a spicy one.
Mm.
And yeah, I like the regular ones. The thing is, they don't have tequila in them. It just says alcohol,
Yeah.
and then it's like agave,
Okay.
and it's all natural pretty
Yeah.
much, and salt. And there's no like real like
Mhm.
sugars, and there's no malt, there's no wheat, there's
Mhm.
nothing like that. So switched to them, and then I feel good.
Mhm.
Just had a couple of them. It was Saturday, and then we went over to the brewery. There's a really nice seltzer that Monday night make, and I had one of them. Feel fine after a seltzer. So, what do you drink? What do you replace this with? How do you approach? Because I can't get back from working out and be like, let me grab a glass of tequila. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not something that I'm going to look forward to. And
Right.
so, how do you do it when you're? How do you approach having a good time and being social? Because the other option is to just stop drinking, right?
Right.
And I've been through phases when I've been like I've quit drinking, but I've found over doing Ox 100 just to replace it with a better relationship is what I feel like I have. And so, tell me about your relationship.
Yeah, I think obviously the healthiest thing would just be to stop. But I mean, in reality, I'm not going to do that because it's just my choice and I don't see myself being at that place.
Yeah.
I think out with people, seltzers are so popular now. They're easy to get. A lot of times if you go to a brewery, they're not going to have, tequila on the rocks because that's the best choice. So I'll go for a seltzer. But if we're out, yeah, tequila soda. That's really what it is. A lot of places call it a ranch water now. And it's just soda, tequila, and a lot of lime juice, like
So you can
fresh
just
lime
order
juice.
that, a ranch water.
Yeah, we went to a restaurant after training on Saturday, and that's what Cleo and I pretty much just drink that now. They pour half of a Topo Chico out and put tequila and lime in it.
A little bit of lime juice or like a piece of lime?
Either way.
And
usually lime juice, they like squeeze it out.
It sounds really like flavorless. Is it flavorless or like is there anything that you can add to it to make it more exciting? Or
I mean, you can always
get used
just
to
add more fruit juice, but I guess just get used to it. I like the taste of tequila.
Okay.
I know a lot of people have a bad relationship with it because of college and
That was
Jose
me, for
Cuervo
sure.
and stuff. Yeah, but I think
Tequila even the smell of it after college made me want to throw up. But now I've got used to sipping on a good tequila, which is why are we replacing it with tequila?
So tequila, overall lowest calorically. It's if you're buying the right tequila, which you should always get like a 100% agave. So it's coming from the plant. We're not using any grains, any wheat, barley, malt, anything that you would find in beer or bourbon or whiskey or those dark liquors. Yeah, it's just a pretty quote unquote innocent choice. It's not gonna leave you with much of a hangover if you're not adding sugar. Especially if you're doing the straight tequila or tequila sodas, it's just the liquor, water, and then a little bit of lime if you're into adding that.
So if Savannah's having a good time, she's drinking, if she's in a good, like doing a challenge and training for a competition, what if you're not? What do you go for if you're not? Yeah.
I've just come to like tequila so much, it'll still be that.
Oh, wow.
Just because that's my choice.
That's
if
cool.
I want to get crazy, I'll have like a proper margarita, which has, sugar and orange liqueur and all that good stuff in it. Yeah, maybe a glass of wine, but I really just, if everything's out in front of me, I still would prefer just a nice mezcal or tequila.
Yeah, and I've started to realize that's the way that I do it because no matter what happens, I'm going to be up at 6 o'clock with the kids, and I just don't want a hangover anymore. So if I do go back to being a party ant, then it's not going to be good for the next couple of days. So yeah tequila and them margaritas, that's my go-to now. And there's been times when I've said I'm just not going to drink anymore. Have you tried that? And
I mean, I've done it every year for Ox 100 in January. Just do dry January. It's not hard, just don't. But then, then I look forward to it. I think if I'm the type of person that if I said I'm not going to drink at all anymore, I might start dipping into some like binging behavior. It's like, oh, I haven't drank in 3 months, but today's the day.
Well, they say if you're counting down the days,
yeah,
since you stopped doing something, you haven't stopped doing it. You're just counting down till the next time you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with something like that, that's kind of how it goes. And then you do tend to just start binging on it, which is not good. Because as soon as like I have a couple of drinks, doesn't matter what day it is, I'm like, all right, we're going. And I'm like, no, we're not. Slow down. Reset.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Right.
So yeah, it's funny. So yeah, that's a good segue to talk about the stuff that I was going to talk about, because phase 1 of Ox 100, we're like 2 weeks into it now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 3rd week of this group. And the first phase of Ox 100 is called the crisis phase. And when you look around, like we were talking about, the way that people eat, drink, the way that they live, the way that they work out, they're in a crisis, right? And we don't want to waste that crisis. So the first 30 days, we go so hard at getting you away from just constantly be surrounded by things that spike your dopamine, even. So like if you look at it, sugar, carbs, alcohol, Instagram, TikTok, video games, and then on the men's side, I don't know if the same on the women's side, but porn always comes up. Like all these instant accesses to like instant gratification. And we want to cut that out for 30 days just so you can build, like we were just talking about with alcohol, a better relationship. So that's what it's all about, is just building it back into your life how you want it to be, and not just like, well, this is how I eat, this is it, and it's all sugar. I'm constantly on my phone. I drink just because all my friends are out and I'm bored, and then addicted to these things. Instagram and TikTok, if you've ever deleted off your phone, you realize how your mind is just a little bit clearer. And I think they're all the same. Same with sugar. Your mind is clearer. Carbs, alcohol, like everything is just having like a healthier mindset than constantly riding that dopamine wave. And I love the first 30 days just because of that. So we want to cut out sugar. Then we want to tag something else onto it. So sugar and alcohol, they're the first ones. Tag something else onto it. And a lot of the guys are like, I want to read instead of being on social media. Social media is the biggest one now that we see people trying to delete from their phone, or just, I'm only going to go on it an hour a day to post or to see what's going on. And then, especially on the men's side, like, I mean, growing up, pornography was just impossible to find, right? And then now it's instantly on your phone. And just knowing that, like, you can have a better relationship. And we want to spike your testosterone levels. So sugar, alcohol, porn, all this stuff is having a big impact on these testosterone levels. And like we just said, you see it with men that man boobs, large gut, look pregnant. It's because you're just riding this instant gratification wave. And that first 30 days, we can cut that out and then build things back in. We're not saying you never have to do these things again, but look at what you were just saying. Your relationship with alcohol is 10 times better than it was before. And so what kind of things do you see on the woman's side of, habits that they want to change?
I think the biggest, I think there's a lot of overlap. So people want to be more present, so off social media, just not involved in, TV, internet, all that kind of stuff. The drinking is a big one. But I think like sweets, I've seen a lot of, one thing I struggle with is, especially in the first 30 days, is people looking for replacements. Like, this is my hack for replacing the cookie I eat every night. Or this is my tips and tricks for doing this, which, yes, that's good, but you're just feeding something else in your brain. Like, why do you need a cookie every night? Like, why do you have to have a hack to keep feeding whatever is like wanting that? So that's something I see a lot, because I think if you really do the 30 days properly, you just don't have those desires anymore.
It kind of speaks to you not doing it right. If you're looking for like paleo cookies and paleo brownies and carnivore desserts and whatever, Whole30.
That just tells me you're still addicted to sugar.
It says you're still addicted to sugar, but it also says you haven't changed the mindset to say, I eat this way. It's
Right.
for 30 days, I'm going to eat this way, and I'm counting down to be able to go and replace these things.
Right.
So when you're not doing that challenge anymore, you're just going to grab a dessert. You're just going to grab a brownie. You're just going to grab a cookie. Or
people say, like, one more week and I'm going to go to buy a cheesecake and eat the whole thing. It's like, well, fuck. What have we been doing?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you've heard that before. I know Caitlin has.
Yeah, because there's a better way to do it. Like you said, it's about building that relationship.
Right.
And I think it speaks to me is like when people switch, sometimes they switch and then for the first 30 days, especially on the women's side, I think they completely undereat for 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
So then they are looking for things like that because they're hungry.
Yeah.
On the men's side, I think we're more comfortable adding a lot more meat, adding a lot more protein. And then on the women's side, I think it's just like, well, now I'm just going to eat a salad for 3 meals a day.
Right.
And you're like, no wonder you're searching for a paleo something to spike your sugar levels.
Starving.
Because you're kind of starving yourself. And I think that's why on the men's side, they lose weight faster in the first 30 days. Whereas women are kind of starving themselves and your body's holding on to it.
Right.
So when we talk about it on the men's side, it's like, be comfortable adding more protein. And I've had battles recently with men adding protein. And I know it's the same on the women's side. Because I don't want to eat a lot of meat. I don't want to. And you're like, I don't understand why we've been so scared of protein. Protein is a building block for life. Like if you don't have enough protein, you're not repairing your muscles, repairing your tissues, growing any muscle. And then if you do eat protein, you're going to lose fat too.
And that's what always trips me up because people are like, I want to be toned. I don't want to be bulky. I want to be toned, which is totally valid. Like that's a very
tone's a made up thing. There's no such thing as toned. It was made up by the fitness industry. Like the only way to get toned is to add muscle and lose fat. So you're only doing two of them things.
Yeah.
You're not getting toned. You're adding muscle or losing fat.
And the way to do that is by eating protein. But I think, what is it? The average person only gets like 60 grams of protein per day, which blows my mind.
Right.
Because that's breakfast.
Right. And then we've been scared off of a lot of proteins. So like for me, my favorite kind of protein is the original protein. It's whey protein. And like you got whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, and then I don't know ever say it, but it's like pre-digested protein. And whey protein is the original. It's like, you know when you open a yogurt or yogurt in English and you see that like liquid in there, that's whey protein. And it's like one of the offsets of when they're making cheese. They used to throw it away. Then they realized they could use it for stuff. And now we see like people who add whey protein are getting all the good stuff from milk that they siphoned off. So if you can add it back in, and if you're not lactose intolerant, then you should just be eating whey protein. Because the other ones, they're okay, but they don't have the natural ingredients that whey has. So if you, like, I hear people all the time, like, searching for, like, I'm doing a pea protein, but, like, the animal source of that protein is the best one. It's been shown to be the best one. It's been shown to have the biggest impact. It's been shown to increase your muscle mass. And then the amount of things that it can protect you from, like, it's even been shown to protect you from, like, cancers, and because you're actually regrowing and redeveloping your cells rather than be constantly undernourished with protein. So if you add 30 to 50 grams of protein a day just from like a whey protein supplement, you don't want to eat all that meat. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you need to be eating almost your body weight
Yeah.
in protein and grams, right? So it's just fascinating to me. And I think whey is the best. Yeah, if you can't tolerate it, try maybe an isolate, even like the pre-digested one first before you switch to something like a pea protein. Because like they're okay, but they're not the essential amino acids that you're looking for from a whey protein.
Right. And even if you are sensitive to lactose, I would say still try it. Because a lot of people, it doesn't bother them. The same way an ice cream or a cheese or a whole milk would. It's not the same intensity. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah. And maybe you just need like a couple of days. Don't just do it once and be like, oh, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Just blew up the bathroom. No, like, let your body try and adjust, right? Because if you've gone from 60 grams of protein to 120, it's a big jump. Your body's going to take some adjusting. So give it a couple of days, right? If after a week you're shitting through the eye of a needle, then probably take it down a little bit. or try one of Caitlin's wild ass proteins.
Right.
But
Tastes like dirt.
Whey protein is the best protein.
Yeah.
And all these bullshit proteins that have been created for people like Caitlin, they're fine, but you again would take away protein and then need to supplement again with aminos or BCAAs because they don't have the thing that just whey protein would give you right off the bat. So
if someone was wanting to, they've never bought protein before, they never even drank a protein shake before, what should they look for when they're at the store? And when should they drink it? Because is that a myth that you should drink your protein shake, immediately after you work out to get maximum results? Or should you just get your protein in?
Yeah, it's a good question because, like you said, there's a ton of proteins out there.
Yeah.
The thing that I would say is, only thing I would look at is I would just go straight to the ingredients and see how much added bullshit's in it. So, like, I just want a natural whey protein. So I use True Athlete, which is natural and it's been tested, so it doesn't have any of the banned substances or anything like that in it. And then it's all like stevia and anything like that to sweeten it, rather than it just be like high fructose corn syrup or just whatever they want to throw in there to make it taste nice. And for me, I always go for a chocolate because they never get chocolate wrong. Whereas like some vanillas taste insane. Some strawberries there's some wild flavors. Chocolate, you throw it in milk, I put it in milk, or chocolate milk, and you've got yourself a hell of a shake, right? Whereas some of these other flavors sometimes taste a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So I would just look for the ingredients, and I would just look to check there's no sugar. If you can try and avoid like a sucralose or other sugar substitute, stevia is not too bad, I don't think. We might find out in 10 years that it kills us all. But right now, it seems like that's the better option. And then, I use a natural one. So I go with True Athlete, and I think we're going to start selling it here too, because it's just all good ingredients, and you know that it's not just been like whatever they could find on the factory floor and they swept it in there and they don't test it.
Yeah.
It's been tested to show that it's not full of crap. So yeah, no sugar, and then it's up to you what flavor you go for, but I would go for chocolate.
Gotcha.
How about you? What protein do you take?
It's called My Protein. To be honest, I'm probably not as attentive to the ingredient list as I should be. I just want to see at least 20 grams of protein per serving. And I look at how many scoops they want me to use, because some of these are like 3 scoops for 18 grams of protein, and that's
a good call.
A pile of powder.
Yeah.
I want 1 scoop, at least 20 grams. I don't want, less than 2 or 3 carbs. Yeah, that's it. I go for a chocolate. I mix mine in water, which...
And then, like you said, it is a myth that you have to take it before and after a workout. It's just your total protein consumption throughout the day, because you're constantly, building muscle if you constantly feed your muscles. So I think people do it before and after because it's just a reminder.
Okay.
Right? Like, if you get into the habit of doing it before and after, then great, because you take it to the gym, you have it after the gym. It helps you remember, but do it in the morning, do it before bed. I really don't think it matters as long as you're getting in at least a gram of protein. Well, let's say a minimum of 0.8 for your body weight. You know what I mean? But I would say pound. Yeah. But I would say a gram is so easy, right? If you just look at your body weight and then do a gram, or even I would do 1.2 personally, but it's up to you. At least it's not 60 or 40 or 30 or 20 or something insane that you see, because when we start tracking in phase 2 and you see how much you're under eating, which most people are under eating, then for you not to be giving yourself protein, which is like the number one if you're working out and trying to gain muscle and lose fat, then what the hell are we doing? You know, like, you might as well not show up to the gym today if you're not going to back it up with the stuff to repair your muscles.
Yeah, and I would caution people too from just being like, 25 grams of protein in 1 scoop. If I have 2 or 3 of these a day, I'm set. I think I've seen a lot better results prioritizing real food first. Yeah. Making sure every meal I have has like an appropriate amount of protein, and supplementing with no more than 1 protein shake a day.
I mean, technically you don't need a protein shake.
Yeah.
Right? If you can get enough protein from your food, the problem is most of the food that we get, I can't afford grass-fed everything. I wish I could. And if I could, I probably would supplement way less. But some of this food, like the levels of protein in it, is very difficult to reach that target. So yeah, for me personally, meat is my superfood, and then a protein shake just gets me the extra aminos that might be missing from it being wherever this meat, corn fed.
Yeah,
Wherever
that's
this
what I
meat
was gonna
comes from.
say. I feel. I mean, I love meat, and I love buying the grass-fed, the organic, good quality. But yeah, 2 or 3 servings of the supermarket meat you just get from Publix. I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from, but
You're not quite
I'm
sure
hoping
how
for the
good it is.
best.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
not quite sure how many amino acids are in there.
Yeah.
So just, adding in that natural, this is why I like the natural way,
Mhm.
because at least you're adding in something that comes from the source, the animal source.
Mhm.
So yeah, add protein.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else? Good episode.
Yeah, good chat.
Yeah. Anything about programming this week?
We're gonna be a little bit sore, which is fine. Those strong and ripped workouts, I think, are gonna hit people pretty hard. But I would just want to remind people that it's been thought through. So there's no reason to skip a day. There is a little bit of reprieve after a hard bodybuilding day. We'll get to flush it out with some good cardio and a
When's
fit
the leg
workout.
day?
Leg day is Thursday.
Whew.
I know. I'm ready for it.
Leg day was a good day.
I'm
Yeah.
just now not feeling leg day.
Yeah. Cool. And then what are we testing this week? What you got in store for us today?
This week, definitely another bodybuilding workout I want to play around with. I think that's probably the newest style of working out to me. I don't know about you. So I definitely want to test and kind of tweak some things to make sure it's the best it can be. I know how it's going to feel when people do it in class. Yeah, and then we've got a couple fit workouts I want to test too.
Man,
work on some timing.
Coming in hot on a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited. Thanks for the tips on the, what is it called? Ranch water?
Yeah.
I'm going to try some ranch water.
Drink tequila.
Yep. Drink protein.
Drink protein. Eat some organic red meat.
Yeah.
Come work out at OxFit.
Come get strong, ripped, and fit. Let's go. Wrap it up, Caitlin.